right. Good morning. For the East Coast, Central, East Coast or Eastern time zone and Central areas. And then out west, it's a lot earlier than that, but got the chickens all up. They're all up, cackling and everything else. Just wanted to do another quick video here. Just kind of filling in. Besides comedy, I like to talk. I do discussions and talking about stuff, speaking. I want to do the public speaking, so that's why I'm doing all this stuff too. I just wrote some quick facts down here. Just going over some mental health stuff again here. ADHD, bipolar, depression, a few basic things. Back in the day, I used to be ADD, Now it all switched to just ADHD. That's it. The people and adults or kids, you'll still have the attention deficit, but a lot of people, our kids are hyper. You can be like physically hyper, or your brain can be overactive and hyper. So, mine's just a little bit like that. Also from the, bipolar, I got a mix of the bipolar and maybe, a little bit of overactiveness. But I'm not hyper where I just do shit, and act like a hyper person or run around. Now, when I was a kid, I did all that. I was really bad, I guess, running around and getting into things, and like my dad was changing the oil in the car in the garage, and he had the oil pan laying there, and I would take the rags, dip them in the oil pan, and start wiping the walls and stuff, because I was mimicking what my mom was doing, mimicking what, when she was cleaning the house and doing stuff. So I was mimicking that, and a lot of different things. Like he had his hood on his head under the hood, and he put me in the driver's seat, which was a bad idea. So I was like beeping the horn, like beep beep, and he just like came up and bumped his head on the hood, and that wasn't good either. That just probably pissed him off and everything. So he dealt with a lot of stuff with me when I was little, and so they just couldn't figure it out. This is back in at least 1990, 91, 92. And things like this weren't, all this mental health stuff and, ADHD and everything was not, up to par. It wasn't surfaced yet. Nobody knew about it and what to do for kids and people. At some point, they brought out the Adderall and stuff like that, which has a form of meth in it, and that's how people get addicted to it in the first damn place. Addicted to Adderall or addicted to meth, drugs, because of it being in there. Drugs, like prescription drugs and that, get people addicted to actual drugs. All these doctors, like the bad ones, not the good ones, the other ones that like to prescribe shit. It gets people addicted. They want more. As soon as they run out of their prescription and they can't get no more, guess what? They start buying it off other people, or they start finding a drug dealer and start getting the drugs. That's what happens. Those are things we need to fix. Drugs in general, prescriptions and drugs, recreational drugs. The addictions are real. I've not had an addiction. I don't know how I haven't had it. I'm lucky. I haven't had anybody around me before, like, 2021, at least 2020, before I got involved with people, you know, like this girl and her family, you know, some crime in there and drugs going on and dysfunctional and bad stuff going on. Ain't her fault. It's not her fault. They abused her. And then I got hired to clean their farm up and that, so they used me. We have a big story. It's a big story with her. She just doesn't want to tell her story. So I don't know, maybe one day. But I'm telling my story and how I met her and stuff like that. But she was friends with another chick. She had a lifelong meth addiction. I got with her for 8 months. Gave her a bunch of money, over $2,000. Had sex, everything else. The only thing I got out of it now is, her kids like me and stuff. They love me, so that's a good thing. But I've been around it, but I haven't personally done it. I've just dealt with mental health. I could have done drugs. I could have been on drugs and done stuff. I'm lucky. I grew up in a disciplinary environment, disciplined family. Been very lucky. It could easily happen to me. It can still happen to me, but it doesn't. I fight it. It's a harder fight now because the stuff I was been into or around and the people or criminal girls and stuff, it's made everything worse. It made me worse. And so brought my bipolar out more, like mania, because before it was, I think, mild and I could handle it without pills and stuff. But all the shit brought it out worse, made it worse. I'll be 37 here on December 3rd. That's just freaking nuts. But, pretty much lost my life, for a couple of years. I had to bring myself back, my identity and everything. Sucks. But I've been around it, and the pill, all these prescriptions and that are getting people addicted. And having done fitness training and massage, being holistic like that, I'm going to talk about this stuff too. I've taken psychology classes at Stark State in Ohio here. And, it'd be nice to finish it up, get an associate's degree still. I don't know. But at least I have that knowledge and I have all these experiences and stuff like that. That's all I need. And I'll just talk about it still. But I wrote some facts down here. ADHD in kids is 11.3% and 4.4% in adults. Globally, it's 7.2% in kids, 2.5% in adults. And I guess it's 14% in boys, 14% boys, 8% in girls, okay? I shouldn't be saying ADD because it's like ADHD. That's it. ADHD. Forget about ADD. When people say, oh, I'm ADD. No, that used to be the old term. It's gone. It's fucking gone. Okay? It's ADH fucking D. That's it. If you can't focus, you can't fucking remember what people tell you. You can't remember what I tell you. You forget by next week or by tomorrow. You don't write shit down. You don't put stuff in your phone. Okay? That means your brain is overactive and working and you forget shit. Okay? It's not just ADD. Attention deficit is in the moment. Like if you're watching me on the video here, wherever the hell you're at, sitting on the toilet, laying in bed, sitting in your car, in your house, or at the store, don't matter where the fuck you're at, if you're watching me on the YouTube here, and you're not processing what I'm talking about here, it's going over your head, yeah, that's ADD, attention deficit disorder. But your mind is still working, hyperactive. You don't have to be hyper like a kid, but your brain is hyperactive. And then by tomorrow, or in 2 days, you'll forget. Okay? That's still all ADHD. So the ADD thing is out the window. It's ADHD. Now, like on Facebook and stuff like that, you'll see that, oh, all these labels and stuff are just an excuse, a thing to prescribe pills to kids, to label kids. Kinda. I agree. But it's still a fucking disorder, okay? We have to do something about it. I mean, yeah, let us all be ourselves, be us. Let a kid be a kid. And I read a lot of that too from these girls. There's mothers on Facebook and stuff like that. Let the kid be a kid. Let a child be a child. That's fine. But he's got to grow up at some point, like when he reaches at least 15 or 16. Okay? I was babied as a kid or teenager and into my 20s. They don't want to be babied. Here's what's going to happen when they're babied and you keep them as a kid is they get older, and if you don't teach your kids to be an adult and think for themselves and about life and paying bills and the ups and downs of life and struggles and failures and all this stuff and what it takes to succeed or work a job, keep a job that you like, or run a business, go to college, just do what you want to do and live your dreams. To be able to do this stuff, sustain your life and pay bills and have money and all this shit, okay? Your kid has to learn eventually. You can't baby them forever. Again, I was babied and overprotected in that. It affected me, okay? And having a narcissist dad, it all affected me. It's bad. I needed to be taught more about life, not just like banking and checkbooking, a few things. I needed to learn everything to survive life. A kid, a teenager, needs to learn everything by the time they reach 20. So they can survive. We're supposed to survive. How the fuck you're supposed to survive if you don't learn and you don't teach your kids? So all this bullshit saying, let's keep the kid as a kid, a child as a child. If I had kids, I would not be doing it. If I adopted a kid, I would not do it. They need to learn to survive life. That's what I wanted as a teenager, and I didn't get it. Here's what happens. If you don't teach your kid to survive life, if we don't do that, the universe will do it, okay? Or someone else will do it. Do you want someone else teaching your kid, stuff and how to survive life and do stuff because you didn't do your job? I don't think you want that. But people helped me and woke me up and did it. And that's what happens. Or the universe did it for me. I went through all these struggles. I got around drug addict and criminal people or girls, and I went through all this stuff and learned the hard way. Learned everything the hard way, and that's what happened. So it's going to happen sooner or later. They're going to get exposed to shit, okay? And then add on ADHD or depression, or that's why they get, depressed. ADHD is already there. They're born with it, but that's why people get depressed and shit more. Because they realize they've been in a lie, or they weren't raised right, or they're learning about life and society more, or they get into drinking, or they get with the wrong people, and all this stuff. Everybody starts getting depressed and getting on drugs because we realize stuff is a lie, or we were taught wrong, or put down, and all this stuff. That's what happens. And again, I'm lucky I didn't turn to drugs. And then in my other videos, just previous from here, I talk about the tooth fairy, I talk about Santa Claus, I talk about Easter Bunny, all this bullshit, imaginary shit, okay? kids grow up and they learn these are lies and fairy tale shit, it doesn't help. They're getting depressed and everything because they realize everything is a fucking lie, okay? You know, I got a couple people saying, well, you know, what's wrong with letting a kid still believe and stuff, you know, let them believe. No, because they're gonna fucking grow up and they realize someone else tells them, or they learn it in school, that Santa Claus ain't real. Tooth Fairy ain't real. The Easter Bunny ain't real. They're gonna find out through someone else, through their grapevine, that it's nothing's real. Guess what? They get depressed. They get depressed and whatever, or they commit suicide, okay? Everything's a fucking lie around here. Okay, everything is marketing and making money, about making money. Drugs, you know, food, candy, holiday stuff, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, all this fucking shit is marketing and money in this country, okay? That's why all these other countries outsmart us, and Europe, you know, Japan and Canada, they're all coming up with these cures and stuff to go into the body to fix things and fix problems. Canada just came up with a little tiny ass robot size of a rice, I guess, to go in and to basically break down kidney stones and shit. You know, I've had kidney stones. I mean, whatever the hell it takes, I don't care, put that thing in me, because I've had kidney stones. That would be nice, break this shit down, because it hurts. But these countries are coming up with all these different things, and here we are in the US, you know, we're behind. You know, we're trying, I mean, I guess Trump is trying to help get us smarter and catch us up, you know. We're supposed to be #1 country. I don't know how the fuck we are, you know, until we get everybody out, until we bring down the drugs, quit bringing drugs in, bring crime down. That's what he's doing all these big things. What sucks is the economy is still sucky, the housing and that, and it's affecting me, or as a business owner and stuff like that. But, you know, everything takes time. We got 3 more years. And hopefully after the 3 years, we keep it this way. And no fucking idiots, morons get in there and change it around again. Democrats. So, but that's why everybody's depressed and on drugs and all this shit, because the lies, the drama, the bullshit, drugs and pills and everything else. Everything is fucking cause and effect with us and kids. It all starts with kids. And then bipolar. Bipolar and everything, like I am, causes all this stuff. Okay, I'm back. I moved from the patio into the house where it's warmer, but basically, yeah. Everything is just in life, and we're struggling. Everything in life, you know, all the drama and the chaos, influences in the world, stuff on TV and the news that we see is just affecting us. And I mean, that's just why everybody's on drugs, people. And you know, everybody's depressed and shit. I mean, it's not hard to figure out why. But the more we deal with reality and truth, honesty and stuff like that, the better off we'll be, the better off kids will be, and not feed them lies, not lie. That goes for any of us. You know, quit being lied to and believing lies and stuff, and we'll be better off. Because it hurts more when shit comes out, when things come out sooner or later in your family or with our friends or somebody, or in a relationship or during a marriage. when nobody talks about shit right off the bat, up front, lays it out on the table, like, here it is, take it or leave it. This is how I am, this is what I have, this is what I've done, okay? Take it or leave it. And so it's up to the other person to accept it or think about it, like, do I want to be with this person? Let me think about it. He's done all these things and he's this way, or he's bipolar or depressed and shit, or he's an alcoholic. What should I do? You know, and then you ask your friends or ask people, you know, if you can't fucking make decisions. But at least you're thinking instead of going into it like people do. And that's why you see the divorces and the breakups. You know, people get married at fucking age 22 or 25. You know, it doesn't always last. It always, you know, if it does, it's pure luck, you know, or God's will or whatever, grace, but pure luck. Because a lot of times it don't work. You're too young, and you're not thinking, and you haven't lived life. You know, you need to at least get married at age 30. You know, that way all the 20s are gone, and you've got your career in college done, or whatever. You're moving along with your career and stuff, so I don't know. But that's what's happening, because nobody talks. Nobody wants to speak up. Nobody wants to say, well, you know, I've done these things, or been through this stuff, or been with this bad person, or whatever. They fucked me up, or I lost money, or had my truck towed, or this and that. And then the other person could be like, okay, well, glad you told me, you know, whatever. Fuck it. Let's move on and get past that, you know, and start focusing here. But nobody does that. Like 2 years later, okay, the lies come out. You know, what the husband did, what the wife did, cheated on each other, cheated on the other person, whatever. Or in a 3-year relationship, 4-year relationship, people are dragging it on. Shit comes out, you know, or somebody tells them. That's what happens. You know, then they divorce, then you break up. Then guess what? You have trust issues. You can't trust anybody anymore. You can't trust men. All men are bad. All men they got cooties. All men suck. All men are red flags. Oh, he's a nice guy. You know, that's bad. That's a red flag, because he still might be a narcissist. He could change and flip, and a lot of them do. That's what I hear, and that's what I see. You know, and then here I am. I'm like a nice guy and everything, and putting all this shit out there and videos and stuff like that, so I don't be a red flag like everybody else, so I can stand out, be different. I am different. I'm always different. So it's, you know, confusing to people. But if I don't do any of this stuff and talk, it makes it a lot harder. I'm just another dude. I'm just another number. And that's not going to be me. So it sucks. I got to do all this shit. Because people can't trust. Girls can't trust people. They can't trust men anymore. I don't know what else we got to fucking prove. There's nothing left to prove. Because you guys are fucked up. Fucked up from men. You got mental issues, you're fucked up. You got trust issues, you got all these things going on. Okay? And whether or not you're getting counseled or on pills or whatever, or smoking weed, you're not trusting men anymore and all this stuff. And it's unfair. Can't trust me, can't understand me, talk to me, can't keep up with me on the Facebook or text. It's stupid. Can't even keep up. Well, guess what? Probably got ADHD. You can't fucking keep up. You know? It's just facts. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not being stupid here. But it pisses me off. Pisses me to fuck off. ADHD. I can't stand it. I try to tell somebody that I'm this, I'm that, or I'm bipolar or whatever, okay? I'm cursed. I'm fucked. You know, I'm not making a bunch of money right now. I can't get the business going again. Can't landscape. Got no fucking truck. I don't know what else to fucking tell people. I'm cursed. I'm stuck. What else do you want to hear? What else do you want me to fucking say? But I tell people, and by next week, you forget. ADHD. It's bad. I don't know how it says 4.4%, and everybody's got it. It goes over your head. Everything. My friends, I talk to people, and it goes over their head. Like by tomorrow, they forget again. You've got to put in your phone, write stuff down, write notes, tape it to your mirror. I don't know, tape it to your forehead, whatever you gotta do. We got smartphones, we got all this stuff. You can put reminders on your phone. I gotta do it. You know, yeah, I got a little bit of a memory problem, but I don't forget shit. If you tell me something and by tomorrow I still remember, even if I forget and you tell me, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, okay, that's right. You know, then I remember and I understand stuff. I don't say, well, you know, you got to still get a job. You got to do all these things. No, I just said that I'm bipolar, okay? I can't work for anybody. I don't want to make people rich. I want to be rich. All right, I'm back on the patio. I got to keep switching rooms because other people or another person in the house. All right. But anyway, it's just hard to explain to people stuff. It drives me nuts. I tell people, and I tell it on Facebook, and just anything in general, or about myself, and people aren't getting it. Okay, like by tomorrow or next week, they say the same shit. You know, get a job, do this and do that. No! What the fuck did I just tell you? Yesterday or last week? What did I just post on Facebook? When I'm telling people, and they keep, you know, saying stuff, you know, I always have to remind people, like, no. Like, what did I just say? You know, every day I'm posting stuff on the Facebook and shit. But nobody listens. That's why I just keep talking. That's why I just did a bipolar 3-page article, or letter, whatever the hell you want to call it. You know, and put my name and titles underneath it. I did a trauma and a tinnitus one. Then I did a narcissism one. That's a big term that nobody uses around here or hears about. But they are now. And you see it on the Facebook. And it's a serious thing. Dealing with people like that. A family member, your dad, or, you know, a girl like that. Anybody out there. A boss. You got to get away from it. Got to get away from it. You can't cure these people. You can't do anything. So you can't do nothing about it. Personality disorders are incurable. Borderline personality, I mean, yeah, that comes from trauma, childhood trauma and stuff like that, you know, life. But bipolar is 2.8% in adults. It's like 2.6 to 2.8, I guess. I mean, the disorders like that, you know, ADHD or bipolar, borderline, different disorders. I mean, yeah, those are like small percentages, you know. Some of us are the lucky ones, I guess. Now, But depression, general depression, and that it's like 264 million people, 29% in adults, which should be even higher. I'm surprised it's only 29%. I don't think the statistics are right, but but general depression, you know, it's high. Now, that's another thing. They've told me around here, like, oh, well, you know, it's just depression. Get over it, or nobody wants to hear about it. Go to work, you know, go do stuff. That's another thing pisses me off. Is no, you can't fucking just do it. You can't just go to work and get over it. So, this is why I'm making these videos. This is why I'm talking about it, writing about it, doing everything I can. That's why I get out there and talk with the fucking microphone. You know, I'm waiting for people to let me speak out there. But this is why I'm talking, because people don't understand. And guess what? It goes right back to the ADHD, because you don't fucking understand. It don't register in the head. So get on pills or write shit down. I don't know what you gotta do. But you can't just get over stuff. You can't just get over bipolar. It's all your life, up and down. Okay, I'm on lithium pills to help stable it out. So for the first time in my life, I'm actually thinking differently and clearly and talking differently and posting all this stuff. And I'm not even backing down anymore. I'm not quitting. I'm not scared. I got no fear. I'm doing all my comedy stuff. You know, I can go out there and do stuff and not be scared. I was around criminal people, addicts and stuff. And I can go around more people like that. I don't care who they are. But I won't let them bring me down anymore. They won't take my money. That's not going to happen. Because, you know, if I'm helping them and stuff, the minute you cross me or do something or take my money, I'm turning your ass in. That's it. Either that or handle it myself. Either way. So I don't snitch on no one or do nothing. But the minute you do shit to me, guess what? That pisses me off. You don't want to mess with a bipolar person. You know, I'm already fucking crazy. And I don't need to be on drugs or nothing. So, you know, when they throw up the wanted ads, wanted people for like around here in my area, or FBI most wanted and shit, I'll bring them in myself. I'll bring their asses in myself. You know. But you know, I like to help people. I can help you. It can go either way. I can help you, you know, and you help me, and you stop doing stupid shit, and get off the drugs, and straighten out, and then you can help me with my organization, and my stuff I'm doing, and talk in my videos, and talk in front of people, or you can keep doing your bullshit, and just be in jail. I don't give a shit. Go to jail then. Don't matter to me. But I want to help people. And the shit I watch on the news and everything, I've been around it. And so it's, you know, it's been pretty sensitive to me. But when I see shit on the news or on Facebook and that, I've already been around it. So just think about that. It sucks. So that's why I talk like this. And I've been woken up. We all gotta wake up here. Because there's shit going on in the world. And we can't be worried about this imaginary shit anymore. And that's what's screwing everybody up. So, I'm surprised these numbers aren't any higher. They should be, because that's how people act. So, anywho's, hopefully people keep their attention on this video, because it's a long video again, and I had to freaking stop 2 times. But alrighty, I'm trying to get to another comedy video. I need props, I need, background stuff, I need different things. I need like a studio or a building just to do that. A heated building, for the winter time and stuff. But subscribe, like, and share, please. Thanks. Thank you. Watch all the other videos, and check out the Awakening page on the Facebook, On the Edge Landscaping page if you're in Ohio, Gifted Hands Craftsman, my Craftsman page. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Instagram sucks. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't work for me. TikTok is good. That's where it's at. It's blowing me up a lot better. I might even get back off Instagram. That's why I never used it. But TikTok's where it's at. Facebook still. I hate Twitter. I can't write enough on there. I can't do anything with it. So I don't need it. I don't need all that stuff. I got enough going on. And then of course my YouTubing. So yep. Another day. Another Saturday here in Ohio. Good old Ohio. So have a good day out there. Have a good Saturday. And keep an eye out for the next video, I guess, or comedy. I'm working on it, so I need a bunch of stuff to use and props and stuff, so it's like making a movie. I wish I can pay for an app where I can use effects and stuff like that, or AI app, so I can't even do that. So, alright, I gotta go, so I can upload this shit. Toodles.